This lesson is comparing fractions with unlike denominators. I can compare fractions with different denominators by using these three steps. Step number 1. I can find a common denominator by using the least common multiple. Here we have 3/5 and 2/3. We're going to find the common multiples for the denominator because it is called the least common denominator. So 5 and 3, and we have the multiples of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, so on, and the multiples of 3. So we need to find the least common one, and I see that we have to go all the way to 15. So our least common multiple is 15. That means since we're dealing with fractions, the least common denominator is also going to be 15. Step 2, I have to figure out the numerators by multiplying. For example, how do I make 5 into 15? Well, I know that I could say 5 times 3 equals 15. And if I multiply the bottom by 3, what do you think I have to do to the top? You're right. I have to multiply that by 3 also. So the new fraction is 9/15. Let's do it a little bit easier here. If I put them side by side, it's much easier. So 5 times 3 does equal 15. And we have to multiply the numerator by the same number. So we multiply by 3, and 3 times 3 is 9. Looking at our second fraction of 2/3, we know that 3 times 5 is 15. So therefore we have to multiply the numerator by 5, and 2 times 5 is 10. So we want to have a common denominator, and then we need to find the numerators by looking at how we got the denominator. Step number 3 is to compare them. We may use the less than, greater than, or equal sign. In this case, I notice that both the numbers on the bottom are 15, which tells me I have 15 equal parts. 9/15 is 1 less than 10/15. So we're going to say 9/15 is less than 10/15. So we have 3 steps to help us. Let's try another one. Step number 1, to find a common denominator by using the least common multiple. So we look at the denominators, and do the multiples of 7. 7 times 2 is 14, times 3 is 21, times 4 is 28, times 5 is 35. Let's see if we can find a multiple of 3 that matches one of those. 3 times 1 is 3, times 2 is 6, 3 times 3 is 9, 3 times 4 is 12, 3 times 5 is 15. That was close, but not quite. 3 times 6 is 18, 3 times 7, 21. There we go. So the common denominator is 21. That means we're going to change the bottom number to 21 pieces. So now we have to think, 7 times what equals 21? You're right, it's 3. So we multiply the top by 3 also. 4 times 3 is 12. Then we go to the second fraction of 2/3. 3 times what equals 21? Correct, it is 7. That means we multiply the numerator by 7. 2 times 7 is 14. Let me just pause for just a minute here, because look at what we're doing. This is 7/7, which equals 1 whole. And on our first fraction, we had 3/3, which is also 1 whole. All we're doing is changing the size of pieces, just like we did when we did equivalent fractions. So make sure you're always multiplying the denominator and the numerator by the same number. All right, back to step 3. We have 4/7 is 12/21. 2/3 is 14/21. We know that 12/21 is less than 14/21. Here's one I'd like you to try on your own. Here are the 3 steps listed, and I would like you to take 4/6 and 3/4. Change them to common denominators and compare them using less than, greater than, or equal to. You may pause the video now, and then there is one more example I'd like you to also put in your notes and bring back to class. So pause the video and then start it again, and I'll give you the next problem. Here's the second example I'd like you to try in your notes. The number is 4/9 and 3/6. Pause the video, finish the problem, and bring all of this back to class. Remember, if you have questions, write them down. Have a great day.